I would like to share with you the recent journey of Moldova's young and vibrant democracy, its aspirations for EU membership, the challenges we face in the wake of Russia's war against Ukraine, and the role of the young people in helping to tackle them. We are all going through unprecedented challenges these days, where a war against a sovereign country is again ravaging the European continent. Russia's ruthless invasion of Ukraine has changed the way we view our present and our future as individuals, as countries, and as a community of democracies who thought until recently that the rules-based international order is unshakable. We are at a critical juncture where we need to redefine our security, our energy security on the continent, but also in the world. At a critical juncture where we need to defend our democratic values that we often take for granted. Moldova is doing its part. By maintaining stability in Moldova, we contribute to stability in Europe. We are contributing to the pan-European efforts to help refugees. We are contributing to the solidarity lanes, to peacekeeping missions, to fighting corruption, money laundering, cross-border organized crime. Better international rankings reflect our efforts and political will to strengthen our democracy. In the Press Freedom Index, published by Reporters Without Borders, Moldova has climbed 61 positions, from 89th to 28th out of 180 countries in 2 years alone. On the Rule of Law Index of the World Justice Project, we have advanced by 14 positions since 2020. On corruption perception, measured by Transparency International, we have advanced by 24 positions in the last 2 years. Our society and our citizens are committed to democracy, and Moldova's best way to thrive as a democracy is to be part of the European Union. Only yesterday, Moldovans have gathered to show the world that we are fully committed to our European future. By seeking EU membership, we commit to greater regional cooperation, stability, and prosperity, benefiting not only Moldova, but also its neighboring countries and the EU. In Moldova, young people are the driving force behind the nation's aspirations for EU membership. Through their active engagement, young Moldovans are shaping policies, influencing decision-making processes, and advocating for the necessary reforms. The youth of Moldova have shown remarkable resilience, courage, and determination in shaping the democratic landscape of Moldova. From my personal experience, I worked together with many young people to build the Action and Solidarity Party, a party that we established from scratch, based fully on voluntary work, conducted for several years until we managed to take down from power a corrupt oligarchic regime which captured the state. Some of these young people are now members of the parliament, some joined the government, some young people returned from abroad. We're working shoulder to shoulder to transform our country. Moldova's vibrant democracy owes much to the active participation of young people who have breathed life into its institutions and inspired hope for a better future. However, as Moldova strives to consolidate its democracy and pursue EU membership, it faces significant challenges arising from the consequences of Russia's war against Ukraine. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has had a profound impact on the region, with Moldova being no exception. In facing these challenges, Moldova relies on the support and solidarity of the international community. Together, we can work towards a future where nations can coexist in peace, prosperity, and respect for each other's sovereignty. Our commitment to Europe, to peace, will be on display when Moldova hosts the second summit of the European political community on June 1st. The EPC provides an opportunity to discuss shared solutions to the shared challenges that we face. We will be discussing peace and security, energy resilience, climate action, and how to enhance interconnections on the continent. We will stand together, recognizing that a strong and prosperous European political community serves not only our citizens, but also contributes to the stability and progress of the entire continent. Thank you.
Thank you, President Sandu. For many of us, I don't see President Sandu anymore. Oh, President Sandu, for many of us, you are part of the family. You are part of our family because we have so many Moldovan ladies and men working for us, helping us in our daily life, and most of them, as you know, voted for you, the diaspora. And so we follow from far away from Italy what you do, your challenge, the challenge of your country. What can Italy, what can Europe do more to help your country in the short run? You mentioned EU membership, but what can we do more to help you in the near future?
We are very grateful for the support. Moldova is also facing attempts by Russia to destabilize our country. Moldova is facing significant economic challenges as well because of the consequences of the war. And we have been receiving support from our friends, from the international community, when we were dealing with a very bad energy crisis, when we had to deal with the refugee crisis, and now with the economic crisis. So the most important thing is to support our EU aspirations and our will to protect and consolidate our democracy. Unfortunately, this regional situation, and especially what Russia is doing today in Ukraine, represents a threat to all the countries in the region, but especially to a small country like Moldova, a country with a still fragile democracy, which we want to consolidate. And we want to know that we can rely on the democratic world, and the democratic world will help us consolidate our democracy. But also, we are working hard to strengthen our economy, and we're interested in attracting investments in Moldova so that we could create economic opportunities. One thing that we have learned since independence is that consolidation of democracy goes hand in hand with economic development.
Thank you, President. You have kindly accepted to take a couple of questions from our future leader. So, Mariam, you have the floor.
My question is, over the past year and more, you have done a lot to host Ukrainian refugees. And how are Moldovan citizens dealing with these refugees? And do you think that Moldova's support for hosting them might be diminishing as time goes by?
I'm actually very proud that Moldovans have been able to help so many refugees. We have seen hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian refugees crossing our border. This winter, we had 100,000 Ukrainian refugees in Moldova, which is close to 4% of the population. Today, we still provide shelter to 80,000 people. And the most recent polls show that Moldovans are ready to host even more refugees if this would be needed. As I said, from the very first day of the war, Moldovans opened their houses and their hearts and have been helping, together with the state institutions, everyone who sought this support. And this is our duty. We do feel safer today thanks to the courage of the Ukrainian people who defend their land and their nation, but they also defend Moldova and the rest of the continent.
Okay, Levent, you have the floor for your second question.
Madam President, thank you for your remarks. Last June, the European Council granted Moldova the status of a candidate country. That seems like good progress. How fast do you expect the accession process to go forward? And if progress is slow, do you fear that there may be some disillusionment?
Well, Moldova has been on this path, has been planning to become a EU member state for a long time. Of course, the decision of the European Council last year to grant our country the candidate status has increased our efforts and improved our hopes. We do understand that this is a complex process. We do have a lot of challenges that we need to tackle. We are working very hard on reforming justice, on strengthening the independence of the anti-corruption institutions. So we have a full agenda, but our plan is to be fully ready for accession by the end of this decade, which means by 2030. And we are going to work very hard for that. There is political will, there is popular support. We had a big meeting of the citizens this Sunday, yesterday, and we saw many people coming into the streets and supporting the EU path of Moldova. And this is confirmed also by the opinion polls. We also have very good relations. We saw the openness of the EU member states, and we'll continue to work to make our dream real.
Thank you, President Sandu. All best wishes for your work as President of the Republic and for your country. Thank you very much for having been with us today. Thank you very much. Join me with a round of applause for the President of Moldova. And now, thank you also, our two future leaders. We now have a little change of program. We are anticipating the next section on Ukraine.
Peace in Ukraine. Mission impossible. Is Russia turning into a pariah state? Is China a responsible mediator?